Shalom. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem, Rakak, Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, Ruel. Peace and salutations to the elect, and much respect to the brothers pushing his word in the four winds of the earth. And shalom to you few sincere sisters out there. This is another, the love of many shall wax cold. And this one is an article, says son beheads his own father on YouTube live stream, right? And it goes into all the particulars, how he started off the video. The dude was just talking, and then he just, I guess, he then holds up what looks like a human head wrapped up in plastic. So he came in talking, and he held up his father's head. These people are bugged out, man. This is what really pissed me off, though. It says the rambling clip was up for more than 5 hours before YouTube finally took it down. I've seen numerous brothers on YouTube on a live stream going in the scriptures and their live stream cut off immediately, expeditiously. But YouTube let this shit stay up for 5 hours, man. That's some bullshit. But yeah, anyway, let's just stay on topic, man. So yeah, the son beheads his own father on YouTube. They don't explain why he did it. Really? Oh, yes, they did. He says, yeah, this is it right here. It says, this is the head of Mike Moan. It's the father, a federal employee of over 20 years, and my father. This is what he was saying. He is now in hell, plus there's no such place as hell, for eternity as a traitor to his country. So he did it because he felt his father was a traitor to his country. So these people out here are bugging the hell out, man.
Or whether you're disabled or not, this shouldn't happen.
A new lawsuit claims 3 boys lured a teenage girl with a disability away from school property in Pittsburgh and sexually assaulted her. The lawsuit says despite the allegations, no charges were filed. Thanks for joining us at 5. I'm Christine Sorensen.
I'm Ken Rice. KDK investigator Megan Schiller is in Squirrel Hill with who's now demanding accountability.
I'm here along Murray Avenue in Squirrel Hill, where business owners say it is pure chaos when school lets out for the day. And now a new lawsuit alleges that a sexual assault happened inside the bathroom at this Starbucks and inside an empty nearby building. It's a sea of high schoolers at the corner of Murray and Forwood Avenues Wednesday for Pittsburgh Public's Taylor Alderdice High School's dismissal. All the kids gather here at the public bus stop, but police officers stand nearby. This comes as the mother of a 15-year-old disabled girl just filed a lawsuit about an alleged sexual assault in the area that she claims happened because others failed to act.
I think that's terrible, and I think they should do something about it.
Community members tell KDKA they heard about the alleged assault back in the fall of 2022, but the girl's mother filed the lawsuit today. It says the Starbucks employees witnessed male students taking turns entering the bathroom with the girl. It says the alleged males then took her to a nearby empty building where a third boy sexually assaulted her.
I think it's absolutely terrible. I'm glad to see more of a police presence.
Derek Green graduated from Alderdice and now owns Vendor Bender up the street. He is always in the store during school dismissal time, saying it gets out of hand.
Now a lot of the kids get PAT bus passes to get on the public transit. So they're congregating at the bottom of the hill here, and we have like a few hundred kids when school pours out.
Students tell me the Starbucks no longer allows anyone to sit inside the store during school dismissal times. But as this video shows, the kids are everywhere.
I'm hoping that eventually maybe they'll move the bus stop. I don't entirely blame the kids. Their bus stop's right there on the corner. There's nothing for them to do.
The mother of the alleged victim says the district failed to protect her daughter and said Starbucks employees knew about the increasing crime issues but failed to provide security or training for their employees. Starbucks told the AP when it learned of these allegations, it worked with extreme urgency to support law enforcement throughout their investigation. We're told the case is now closed, and the DA's office determined it would not pursue charges.
We are continuing to follow breaking news. We are learning more about a deadly shooting spree in Joliet.
Yeah, tonight, new details about the search for the suspect as well. WGN's Courtney Spinelli live at the scene with what we have learned. Courtney.
Yeah, good evening to you both. Within the last hour, police have now confirmed 7 people were found shot to death inside of 2 homes here on West Acres Road in Joliet. The suspect they believe to be responsible for these crimes also wanted in connection to 2 separate shootings, including one that was deadly yesterday, also in Joliet, for a total of 8 people killed and another injured. Here's what we know so far. This all started with the Will County Sheriff's Office yesterday finding a 28-year-old man with a gunshot wound to his head. He was pronounced dead after he was being taken to the hospital. Authorities say the suspect vehicle in that case identified as belonging to 23-year-old Romeo Nance, the suspect in these shootings here on West Acres Road. He's also believed to be connected to another shooting yesterday in Joliet that left a 42-year-old man with a gunshot wound to his leg. We are told he is expected to survive, but those victims are not believed to be connected, and police believe that those 2 shootings are random. Police began to stake out a home here on this street that was the last known address of Nance. They say all attempts to locate him overnight had failed. It was shortly before noon today. The deputies say they went up to one of the homes and saw blood outside. When they made entry, they found 2 people dead inside that home, and that's when they say they notified Joliet police and went to another home on the street and found 5 more people dead inside of that home. While they will not say right now what Nance's connection is believed to be to the victims of these 2 homes, they say they do believe the people in those 2 homes are related and that those people are known to Nance. Police say a manhunt is underway right now for this suspect, and he should be considered armed and dangerous. We heard from Chief Bill Evans and the Will County Sheriff's Office just a few minutes ago. Let's listen in.
I've been a policeman 29 years. This is probably the worst crime scene I've ever been associated with. On behalf of the Joliet Police Department and the Will County Sheriff's Office, our hearts go out to the victims' families of this heinous crime. We will do everything in our power here at the Joliet Police Department to bring the person responsible for this to justice.
For business, we will get justice. In December, we told you about these moms who claimed that they were poisoned with lemon drop shots in Dallas.
I was throwing up blood.
They say employees were drugging customers. The popular restaurant and bar has been shut down following our Shade Room investigation, while the owners say they did it and what's being done to protect us all when we go out. I'm Justin Carter. This is TSR Investigates Updates. The TSR roommates lit it up in the comments on December 5th, 2023, when the Shade Room first told you that Dallas police was looking into Harlow MXM restaurant and bar. One woman writing, quote, "I kid you not, me and my homegirl went there Halloween weekend and a bartender offered us a free drink and we were so intoxicated after that. We both threw up and was sick the whole day after. I couldn't even keep water down," end quote. And another woman, quote, "I literally seen a girl passed out and getting carried out by security when I was there in June." Brianna Knox and Nakia Robertson told us back in December they went to Harlow's the weekend after Thanksgiving for a ladies' night out.
And when we got there, the bouncer was like, "How bad do y'all want to get in?" We were just basically saying, like, the only way, I'll let y'all in right now is if you show up to the bartender. And so he's like, "If y'all don't get drinks," he's like, "I can't let y'all in right now." And we're like, "Okay, that's fine. We'll go get drinks."
They agreed and said once inside, the bartenders were pouring it up, serving them at least 5 lemon drop shots, all free of charge.
Well, for my second shot, I immediately started feeling off. I was like, something's not right. I feel like I'm drunk already.
They stumbled out and say they progressively got sick. The next morning, they went to the hospital, where Knox allegedly had amphetamines in her system. She also claims the security worker texted her phone that night after she lost her car keys, saying, quote, "No keys, but I'm still looking. You want me to get you an Uber to my crib until we figure it out. And
Of all things, you decided to get us an Uber to your home. That's unacceptable and it's unprofessional.
but some former employees refuting their story. A Harlow bartender writing, quote, "First, let's think about what is very likely to happen when you do drink alcohol. I hope we all agree. It is very possible that you could become intoxicated. The side effects of intoxication can be a variety of things. In regards to the free drinks that the ladies were offered, we are allowed what's called a spill tab. A spill tab is for various things that allows us to give away a couple of drinks or shots or beers a night for various reasons. The bartenders were trying to be nice and offered the ladies a free drink. We are allowed to do that." End quote. The Shade Room has reached out to the owners, restaurateurs, Cindy and Jim Hughes, with no luck. They did speak out, though, in an interview with the...
It's almost like a scene out of a movie. And there were 3 guys, 2 of them with masks, completely masked up. I came in, locked the door, and locked the front door. And then as soon as I turn around, I start hearing kicking.
Samuel Vandiver runs into his bedroom to wake up his best friend, Roxanne Arfa.
I just remember him coming into the door and slamming it and then being like, "Roxy, like, open the window." And I remember not being able to open it because I was like asleep, shocked, and also was a little stuck.
Panicking, Vandiver acts quickly.
I just started punching through the window in there, and I pulled her out and we ran.
But the men made their way into the apartment.
I think they thought that we were someone else. I don't know, because the way they came in was not really worth some laptops.
Abraham Rodriguez was arrested and charged with 2 counts of aggravated robbery, possession of a controlled substance, and unlawful carrying of a weapon, because Rodriguez is a felon. At the time of the incident, he was on deferred adjudication. The other men involved in the crime haven't been caught yet.
There are definitely people involved that have not been caught, and who knows? They might just go on to the next person, go on to the next thing.
But Vandiver and Arfa say this has very much impacted them. They have scars to show for it. Arfa's foot was fractured during the escape, and Vandiver's tendons in his arm were severed.
It cut to the bone whenever I punched the window out, and I had to have emergency surgery. I hope I get full recovery, but it's not looking like it right now.
We are trying to figure out what happened in a Kansas City backyard. Are you fascinated with the story?
This is a crazy story.
This is something weird. I don't know. 3 men were found dead in a backyard after gathering to watch a football game.
Good Day Wake Up anchor Dan Bowens has more on this mysterious case. And Dan, not only because the bodies were found there, but because someone was inside the house for a couple of days leading up to this,
For
right?
a couple of days, and he said, "I don't know what's going on. I don't know why those folks are in my backyard, but they are his friends. We do know that." This is a strange case we've been monitoring for a few days, and this morning, as the Kansas City Chiefs are preparing for their big AFC Championship game, police in the city are investigating the mysterious deaths of 3 fans. The case now drawing national attention and a lot of scrutiny because there are plenty of questions. Now, here's how this all unfolded. About 2 weeks ago, those 3 fans gathered at the Kansas City home of their friend, Jordan Willis, on January 7th. This was the final game of the regular season and the last time they would be seen alive. A full 2 days after that game, David Harrington, Ricky Johnson, and Clayton McGreeny were found frozen to death in the backyard of their friend Jordan Willis's home. When police approached Mr. Willis about the bodies, he claimed to have no idea. When pressed, he said he recalled seeing them leave through the front door at around midnight and doesn't know why they ended up in his backyard. Willis told investigators he was sleeping all of Monday. He was sleeping, and he didn't check the backyard. The trio was found Tuesday, January 9th, after Clayton McGeeney's fiancée requested a welfare check. She says she texted Willis when McGeeney didn't return home, but Willis says he didn't receive any text messages at all. Questions there. Willis's lawyer says his client is distraught after the deaths of his own friends.
He slept most of the morning on Monday. He got up, and at some point he relocated to the bedroom, got up on Tuesday morning. He works from home. He had no reason to go in the backyard.
Gruesome mass murder mystery is unfolding tonight in the Mojave Desert.
6 people are found dead in a remote area north of Victorville. The victims discovered near 2 bullet-riddled vehicles on a dirt road outside the community of El Mirage. Some of the bodies had been burned. What's unclear tonight, who are the victims, who is responsible, and what led to the massacre.
Our John Fenolio is live at the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department substation in Adelanto with the latest on the investigation for us tonight. John.
Sharon, Micah, that's right. This was a horrific discovery. That crossroads in the Mojave Desert remains an active crime scene at this hour. Tonight, the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department Special Investigations Division is leading the case, but many questions remain unanswered. A horrendous discovery in the high desert. Bodies found scattered along a desolate dirt road, along with a white van and a dark blue SUV riddled with bullet holes. Several of the bodies appear to have been burned. A crime scene so grisly, we can't show you every image. San Bernardino County Sheriff's deputies responding around 8:15 last night to the remote intersection of Lessing Avenue and Shadow Mountain Road, just off Highway 395, about 12 miles north of Victorville. The call coming in only as a welfare check.
This is a very remote desert area, and for that reason, CHP Aviation Division accompanied us to the call and were able to help us in locating the scene.
By dawn, investigators located another body hundreds of feet away.
So we have a total of 6 at this point.
Searching for his car, finds out it was stolen and used in a drive-by and a homicide before it crashed into a home. The violence unfolding in Northwest Harris County. One of the young suspects is just 14 years old. And new at 10, ABC 13's Alex Bozargian joins us live with what we know about the investigation and how the car owner is reacting, Alex.
Yeah, the owners of the car live in Northcliffe. I spoke to one of them. They say as they were calling 911 to report the car stolen, the dispatcher told them that it had been involved in a crash about a mile away here on Marsham Circle. Investigators found the car plowed into this home here on the corner behind me. And when they got a little bit closer, they realized, no, it wasn't just a car crash, but a homicide investigation.
I couldn't go in. I just told the police, that's the car they stole from my property.
Marvin Ramos woke up to find his Hyundai Sonata had vanished from outside his home on Brandomere Way overnight. He says after asking neighbors if they saw anything, he called 911.
It was around like 6:30 when the lady told me the car got in a car accident. And that's pretty much what I know so far. Till later on, they told me somebody was dead.
Harris County deputies say they initially responded to this home on Marsham Circle thinking there had just been a car crash. But then they noticed a teenager shot to death in the driver's seat. People were home at the time, but no one was hurt, something Ramos checked on for himself.
Went out and asked her, she was fine. And I told her that that car they're renting there was the car that they stole from the property right here.
The teen found dead behind the wheel is Jesus Zamores, according to family. They say he just celebrated his 18th birthday. They also tell me the person with Zamores was 14 years old. Investigators believe the pair stole the black Hyundai Sonata, then drove it to a nearby bus stop where they shot at another teenager.
The witness reported that he was waiting for a bus when the vehicle drove by and shot multiple gunshots at him. He ran away. The vehicle circled around, came back, and apparently when they were trying to shoot him a second time, the passenger shot the driver.
The passenger reportedly ran off after the shooting, and detectives are still looking for him.
And I feel bad for the parents. Got to teach them the right ways.
Though Joseph Adonis unresponsive in a home on Holbrook earlier this month. He died at the hospital, and tests later revealed that he had cocaine, fentanyl, morphine, and other drugs in his system.
And today, his parents went before a judge. They face a host of charges.
Eyewitness News reporter Sonia Rincon live this evening in Holbrook with our lead story. Sonia?
Yes, Sandra, this is where authorities found the baby unresponsive in an apartment after a 911 call on January 3rd. His parents have been in custody since then because of their criminal history. Now that the medical examiner is calling this an overdose, they face new charges and could still face more.
Preliminary
Toxicology results for the child's blood showed the presence of cocaine, fentanyl, morphine.
Those preliminary results in the death of little Joseph Adonis were no surprise given what police found in his parents' Holbrook apartment. A mix of heroin and fentanyl, plus cocaine, drug weighing and packaging materials, and weapons like a loaded shotgun and rifle.
These items were allegedly unsecured and accessible to not only to the infant, but also to an 11-year-old child.
The evidence was enough for a grand jury to indict his parents, Wilkins Adonis and Darylee LeBrock, on dozens of charges of drug and weapons possession and child endangerment. But county officials lament that it was not enough to charge them with a bail-eligible crime, at least not today.
We're only able to...
Is waking up behind bars this morning and facing charges after officers discovered a man's dismembered body inside her freezer.
That gruesome discovery happened on Monday as a result of a Crime Stoppers tip. And this morning, we have learned that police have charged Heather Steins. She's expected to face a judge later on today.
Eyewitness News reporter Phil Tate is live in Flatbush this morning with the latest details. Phil, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Shantae. Police tell us that 45-year-old Heather Steins has officially been charged with the concealment of a human corpse and is expected to be arraigned later today. Now, this is a really bizarre story that we've been following all week as police came to this apartment building just right behind me for a wellness check, finding Steins in that apartment, but then also finding a human corpse in a taped-up fridge. Now, at the time of the wellness check, we know that Steins was taken into custody, and this was all called in from a Crime Stoppers tip, which led police to the third-floor apartment. Now, it is there where they would find the unthinkable, a dismembered body, including a head and limbs. Well, detectives believe this body had been in the fridge for several months and was a 40-year-old man involved in a drug dispute. Now, an autopsy will reveal the identity of this body, and as we learn more about the suspect, Hines had 3 open warrants for petty larceny from 2022, and this was at the time of her arrest. And well, for neighbors, they're simply stunned.
She don't bother nobody, but I know she smoke back and forth to get her stuff. It surprised me up to now.
Yeah, and so many questions just loom at this hour as this has been ruled a homicide, yet no one is in their custody responsible in this death. Now, police do want to find a man believed to have been living in that apartment with Stein, so we'll be waiting to hear more information there. We also are anticipating to hear from the medical examiner's office for an official cause of death.
That's popular Memphis DJ, decapitated. Fox 13 broke the news last night about a body that was found in a Berkeley home.
And tonight we can report that it was Rick Buchanan, better known as Slick Rick. Fox 13's Walter Murphy was able to confirm the gruesome way his body was found. Walter's live downtown right now. So, Walter, any updates from police? Any word?
No, I actually reached out to the Memphis Police Department. They say they are still investigating the death, but they wouldn't give me much more than that. But like you guys mentioned, I did talk with his brother today. He tells me that the family is still very shaken up over the gruesome way in which he found his brother's body in his home last night.
And I walked in and I found him and called 911.
John Buchanan spoke to Fox 13 Wednesday night, just hours after he found his brother's body inside of his home on Angel Avenue in the Berkeley neighborhood. He wasn't up to talking on camera again on Thursday, but John did tell me his brother had been decapitated, which added clarity to something he had told Fox 13 on Wednesday.
I thought his coat was up over his head because he was like it was cold or something. And then when I ran, so I just ran out and then I ran back in and I noticed that it wasn't that, that it was something worse.
Rick, who was better known as Slick Rick, was a popular personality in the Memphis music scene for decades. John says things changed for Rick around 2014. That's when he was shot outside of a nightclub. The years following, it was hard for him to find work, and he became more of a homebody, preferring to stay inside with his dog Lucky. Now the Memphis Police Department are still investigating how Rick lost his life and potentially who killed him. Meanwhile, the Buchanans tell me they're taking things one step at a time.
Yeah, and I just got off the phone. These people don't want to go on camera, but they do confirm what police say. The victim is William J. Edwards III. He works in the music industry, had a recording studio, small one in Hollywood, and his Instagram says he works with artists like Little Cobain, O.J. Marco, Travis Scott. He was here in the morning in his car with his headphones on. Here's what people say they heard and saw. Watch.
He wasn't moving, and I was just like, what is that?
What she saw on her way to work inside this dark vehicle parked off 29th Street.
I saw a guy dead in his black car.
It was the body of 46-year-old William Edwards III, shot to death shortly after 10 in the morning while sitting in his vehicle on 29th and Ocean Park. Santa Monica police saying they have arrested a suspect, a 27-year-old homeless woman identified as Kayla Denise Mackey.
Everyone was freaking out, basically. Everyone walking past going, damn, not in our beach town. Like, we don't want this happening.
Especially with publicity surrounding crimes involving suspects described as homeless. From a Santa Monica council member attacked while walking on the 3rd Street Promenade last July to the arrest in November of 24-year-old Adrian Jose Dugas for allegedly carjacking a group of people on one of the city's parking lots. While the motive for this shooting remains under investigation, the murder of a man sitting in his vehicle around 10 in the morning is troubling even with an arrest.
Been here over a decade.
On for the gunman who shot and killed 2 teenagers right in the middle of the loop during the busy lunch hour yesterday. The victims were leaving their high school. CBS 2's Noel Brennan has more on the investigation.
The teens made it only steps away from the front door of their school. And the shooting happened here, right next to the elevator that leads up to the L tracks. Bullets shattered the glass and sent people inside nearby businesses ducking for cover. At 12:26 Friday afternoon, it's business as usual on Jewelers Row. Until a burst of gunfire. Oh my God, there's a shooter. Workers and customers inside the Chicago landmark Diamond Center take cover. Close the gate! Close the gate! Close the gate! Outside, near Wabash and Washington, Chicago police say 2 teens are shot. 17-year-old Monterio Williams and 16-year-old Robert Boston did not survive.
It does appear to be a targeted ambush, as the police have said.
34th Ward Alderman Bill Conway says he can't recall a more brazen shooting in broad daylight in the Loop.
2 high school students coming out of school, getting shot in the middle of the Loop, an area that should be safe. I mean, everywhere should be safe, but it's historically a very safe place.
The man connected to a violent robbery in Massapequa. This happened Friday morning near Jerusalem Avenue. Officials say the victim was trying to sell his Rolex watch to someone that he met on social media. And then when the man went up to the suspect's car to get his payment, detectives say that the driver sped off. You see him there striking the victim, and he also took off with the watch. Tonight, he is speaking exclusively to News 4's Jessica Cunnington about the attack.
It was all very legitimate until it wasn't.
Steve Morrow from Massapequa speaking exclusively with News 4 the day after a meetup to sell his Rolex turned into a robbery with a violent getaway caught on camera.
I wasn't just going to go down without a fight.
He posted the watch for $8,000 on Facebook Marketplace, which he says he's used many times before to sell less expensive items.
When I listed the thing, I got an immediate response, and the guy negotiated, which they never do if they're scammers. He had negotiated, and I thought I had a real deal here.
He says the man whose name was listed as John asked a lot of questions and planned to meet Morrow at his home at 11 a.m. Friday. The in-person interaction raised no red flags until the man was ready to pay and invited Morrow to his car.
He's like, "Oh, hop in the passenger." He said it so nonchalant, and I was immediately like, "Oh,
The door was locked, so Morrow ran to the driver's side.
I opened it. He then tried to close it, and then while he put the car in reverse. So that's what threw me to the ground.
And as this is happening, a Nassau County police officer on patrol drives down Jerusalem Avenue and sees that gray Honda driving in reverse, knocking the victim down.
I picked myself up, jumped on the hood, and then he took me for a ride and I was tossed on my front lawn. I launched off of the hood, told the cop, go get the guy. Cop took off. I grabbed my things.
Police are now looking for the Honda, which possibly had Connecticut plates, but they didn't catch a plate number. His message to others who are selling items online: don't be afraid to ask for the money up front, and always have your guard up.
Large items like this, I probably wouldn't do it out of my house. I've done this 50 times where they come in, I sell something for $40, and there's never been an issue.